If you spend any time online in India, you are constantly bombarded by promises of easy money. Earn $50,000 a month from your phone. Zero investment, instant payout. It sounds like a cheat code for life. But step outside and talk to the people actually doing the work. You don't hear about cheat codes. You hear about 14-hour shifts, exhausted engines, and slashed incentives. There is a massive gap between the marketing brochures and the pavement. The digital economy functions as a strict transactional machine. Every rupee earned is an explicit exchange for time, skill, or physical assets. This table maps the total cost of participation. We track the advertised promise, the specific required input you must bring to the table, and the hidden cost that ultimately determines your take-home pay. Marketing materials focus almost exclusively on that first column, the payout. When the hidden costs, like fuel or vehicle depreciation, aren't calculated up front, earners often find themselves burning out or even losing money after a full day's work. To survive this environment, you have to treat yourself like a business. That means evaluating every app, every gig, and every job through a strict return on investment, or ROI. If you want a sustainable path, stop asking, "How much does this pay?" and start asking, exactly what am I sacrificing to earn this? Let's break down the 4 actual ways to earn. We start at the bottom of the ladder, microtasks and survey apps, platforms like PollPay, Microtask.in, and Swagbucks. This chart plots the effort required against how much you can actually earn. The microtask tier sits in the absolute bottom left corner. You don't need any specialized skills or equipment here. If you have a smartphone and 10 minutes to spare while waiting for a bus, you meet the requirements. The appeal here is zero friction. Answer a few questions and you get immediate cash dropped straight into your GPay or PhonePe wallet. Some platforms let you withdraw for as little as 50 rupees, but run the math. You might spend an hour screening out of surveys or clicking ads to earn 30 rupees. When you calculate the actual hourly rate, it is mathematically terrible. These apps serve a purpose for idle time, but they are exclusively for pocket money. You cannot sustain a livelihood or generate real wealth doing this. The next tier is the gig and delivery hustle. This is your Blinkit, ExpressBees, Rapido, and Uber. Looking back at our chart, this tier jumps up into the medium income sector, but it requires significantly higher effort. This work demands physical endurance and the continuous use of a depreciating asset. Owning a two-wheeler is the mandatory entry fee for this tier. The marketed promise is high, up to $60,000 a month, but that ignores the brutal operational costs. Fuel expenses, frequent engine maintenance, and platform commissions slice right through your gross earnings. Sometimes the platform takes up to half the fare. Hitting those daily targets of 1,200 to 1,500 rupees doesn't happen by accident. Drivers aggressively juggle multiple apps at the same time, taking a Rapido ride here, a Porter delivery there, just to chase incentives and avoid empty kilometers. The gig hustle provides immediate cash flow when you need it most, but you are directly liquidating the value of your motorcycle and your own physical health to get it. That brings us to the third tier, fixed-wage physical labor, like picker, packer, and warehouse logistics roles. On the chart, this moves us to a position of moderate entry barriers, but with a hard, unavoidable cap on the true income ceiling. The inputs are straightforward. You don't need a high-level degree, but you must strictly adhere to 6-day work weeks and a highly regimented physical environment. In exchange, you get a fixed monthly salary, usually between 25 and 35,000 rupees. It is entirely immune to bad weather, fluctuating customer demand, or algorithmic mood swings. The hidden cost here is your time and upside. You lose the flexibility to set your own schedule, and no matter how fast you pack boxes, your earning potential is hard capped. This tier is a pure trade. You are giving up your personal flexibility and high-end scaling potential to buy absolute, reliable financial predictability. The final economic tier is high-skill freelance work on platforms like Upwork and Chegg. This chart plots our final destination in the top right corner. It has the highest barrier to entry, but also the highest potential ceiling. You need highly specialized, marketable skills, whether that's coding, graphic design, or advanced academic tutoring. You also need the financial runway to survive the startup phase. The friction here is intense. You are competing against a global talent pool. You will likely spend months sending proposals, taking low-paying jobs, and working unbilled hours just to build a profile reputation. Sustaining a profile through that ramp-up period leads to different outcomes: total geographic flexibility and a monthly earning ceiling that can scale past 1 lakh. Freelancing is the only tier we've discussed where your hourly rate actually compounds. Instead of your vehicle depreciating, your reputation and portfolio increase in value the longer you work. There is no universal best way to make money online. There is only the most efficient application of the specific resources you have right now. This decision flowchart starts with one core question: what is your primary available resource? Let's map out the 3 paths. First, the asset-backed hustler. If you own a two-wheeler and you need cash to survive today, your path is the gig economy. To survive this route, run it like a ruthless business. Track your fuel margins down to the rupee. Know when to reject bad rides, and actively switch between delivery and taxi apps to capture the daily incentives. Second, the stability seeker. If you are supporting a family and cannot afford a single day of income volatility, route away from gig work and head straight toward fixed logistics jobs. Accept that the work isn't glamorous and the hours are rigid. That is the price you pay for the guaranteed floor that keeps food on the table every single month. Finally, the skilled optimizer. If you have baseline education and uninterrupted time, route toward freelance platforms. Endure the initial poverty and friction of building a profile. Do not waste your valuable learning hours grinding microtask surveys for pennies when you could be building a scalable asset. Look at what you actually have to offer. Clearly define your inputs, accept the inevitable trade-offs, and stop chasing the illusion of friction-free money.